Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I am joined once again by two Wise Take's finest DFS analysts. First up, we got our boy BKBorn. You can find him on Twitter at BKBorn8315. BK, how you doing, my man?
I'm all right. DFS wise, probably just breaking even, but a better night yesterday. Today wasn't so great.
Gotcha. All right. Better night yesterday. It was a wacky slate. Definitely a wacky slate. Also joined by our boy Cam, aka KamG333. You can find his ass on Twitter at KamG333. Cam, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. A lot of my higher dollar stuff had Giannis in it today, so that kind of sucked. I got hit with Giannis today, Evans 2 days ago, and Caspi 4 days ago. So it's been a rough week for me. But I had a 361 today and a lower dollar thing, so that was fine. But it didn't make it into the upper stuff, which kind of sucks because that would have done well. But It's been one of those weeks, man. But you just keep grinding, and hopefully you hit one of them.
Yeah, definitely been one of those weeks, man. Some odd things happening. All the guys you mentioned, the only one that I was of the guys you mentioned, the only one I didn't get affected by was, I forgot one of the ones you said, but yeah, most of those I caught Caspi. I was on that one. I had a lot of Caspi that night, and tonight I didn't have that much Giannis. I had 20-something% Giannis, so I still had some lineups wasted. And I played two slates. I played the main slate and the 8 slate. I had about 20-30% Giannis on both. So I know what you mean. I was happy to get back when I got back too. It was a wacky slate, right, guys? It was just strange things.
I was really heavy on the Nets. The Nets just didn't perform.
Was that not the weirdest game in the world? That was just so weird. I thought that game was done.
It was so bad. Dwight with 50 in the second half,
God.
right? 50. He had 11 at halftime. He ended up with 63, I think. So he had 52 in the second half.
Well,
crazy.
He had 30 points or 32 points and 30 rebounds, and he finished with 63 fantasy points, literally dead on with his.
Yeah, he was so bad in the first half.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was wild, dude.
It was again, like I said, it was just an odd night, and Lance Stevenson chalk was no good, as usually is not good for Lance Stevenson. Darren Collison chalk was not good. And in general, it was just a strange night. But that's the great thing about NBA, MLB, all these everyday sports is you just move on to the next day. So here we go. We got ourselves a little 6-game slate. We're gonna go game by game, even though there's 6 games. We just like the flow of that better. We can cover more bases. I think the Pelicans. The Pelicans are the team I think that's going to be where we can hopefully look for value tomorrow. This is the 3rd game in a row for them. This is officially going to be the 3rd game in a row. Drew Holiday missed one of those games. Rondo missed one of those games, I believe. Right? No. Rondo did not. Rondo played in both. So Drew Holiday missed one because he was sick. Rondo played in both, and AD has played in both. So very curious to see what they do. I would think they would have to sit some of these guys. The problem is they need to win. They're right there. Yeah. They can't afford to lose. So that's going to be the news that's going to dictate the slate. So this is obviously a first look. So a lot of the stuff that we say, just get some if-then statements just in case for the nation if you can, guys. So BK, I'm going to start with you, man. Memphis at Charlotte. There's no line right now. We got to see what's going on. But we know Charlotte's on the back end of a back-to-back. Crazy-ass game in Brooklyn. They were getting destroyed at halftime, literally down by almost 30 or something like that. Came all the way back, ended up winning the game. This is incredible. What are your thoughts, BK? First look.
All right. So let's see. So Kemba, obviously, I like him, but the back-to-back doesn't help him. Charlotte, I don't really understand what they're doing because they're kind of out of it when it comes to playoff contention. So you would think they start playing their young guys, and at some point they're going to, which kind of makes them, tricky. Because if you play them and you play them on that night where they start playing everybody 20, 25 minutes, it's going to kill you. But as of right now, Kemba's still playing 37 minutes, close to 40. This is a back-to-back. I don't know if they're going to limit his minutes. But it's a good matchup against Memphis. If you think he's still going to play his normal allotment of minutes, then he's obviously in play. Let's see. Harrison at 6K on FanDuel is basically untouchable. I did throw a shot at Breonte Weber, and of course, he decided to completely dud. Memphis is basically playing every single person on their team right now. Everyone today on their roster that was active played. So even Gasol, who's going to sit tomorrow, he only played 24 minutes today. So that basically says that at this point, they're done playing everybody big minutes. I'm sure Tyreke Evans will be popular tomorrow because he is going to play. But based on what Memphis did today, like literally every single player that was active played. They all played 20 minutes. Every single player. JaMychal Green, Jarrell Martin, nobody played 30. So at this point, I mean, sure, you could take a shot at some of their min-price guys, but you have to know that if you're playing them assuming that they're going to play 20 minutes because that's what they're going to get going forward. Let's see. At shooting guard, don't really like anyone here from Memphis. If I have multiple lineups, I'll have a shot at Tyreke Evans because what he has been doing recently, but it's going to be very tricky. If he's popular, he's going to be somebody that I'm going to be underweight on. If I see that he's going to be contrarian, then I'll probably have a couple extra lineups of him. But if he plays 35 minutes, then he can go off in this matchup because Charlotte has been really bad defensively. But we just don't know what Memphis is going to do. Small forward, Jeremy Lamb is just way too expensive. Probably more of a DK play if you play him. On FanDuel, you basically want him to get almost 40, and he just hasn't done that like almost at all this season, so I don't really understand the FanDuel price. It's kind of crazy there. Let's see. Power forward, the only person I'm probably interested in is Jarrell Martin, because how cheap he is, because even if he does play 20, 25 minutes, he's only 4,700, and we know that Gasol will be out, so that's going to make everyone go to JaMychal Green, but if we're only going to get 27 minutes of JaMychal Green, he may not pay that off. So I'd rather go to the cheaper Jarrell Martin at 4,700 on FanDuel. He should be able to pay that price off. Then at center, Deontay Davis is kind of very annoying to me. Whenever he starts, he's just does nothing. Of course, today Marc Gasol played, and he decided to play 20 minutes and go for 32 FanDuel points. The day before that, or the game before that, he started against Brooklyn, which is the best matchup you can have. He played 21 minutes and he put up 9 FanDuel points. So basically, when he starts, he does nothing. When he comes off the bench, you can go there. Tomorrow he might be popular because of that price, but I just don't know if I can do it with him. Way too risky for me, I think. And then Dwight went off today. Obviously, had a career game. He's 8K.
He's suspended. He got a 16th technical, so he's suspended for this game.
Oh, Dwight?
Yeah.
He did? Ooh. Well, obviously, that makes me like Hernan Gomez. Mm-hmm. If Zeller is back, I would assume Zeller will start, but I still probably won't play. Oh, 3,600. I mean, I guess you kind of have to. But Hernan Gomez will be the more contrarian option. I like GHG. That's probably all the plays from this game, I think.
Okay. KamI, what's your take?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I mean, like, Memphis is this team that's just so frustrating lately. They play pretty much everyone. They kind of have weird rotations with their guards. You don't know who's going to get what minutes. One day, Andrew Harrison plays 30 minutes. The next day, he plays 15. Mario Chalmers plays 0 minutes. The next day, he plays 20. They're all over the place. So, me personally, I'm just going to pretty much stay away from them until the end of the year. I don't really care if one of these guys goes off and beats me. So that's just where I'm at with it. I don't really want to get burned trying to guess who Memphis is going to play and who they're not going to play and what. And then if you do guess right and this guy plays 30 minutes, he could still put up a 10. So I'll just stay away from it. Guys on the Charlotte side, I'm with you on Kemba. He's in a pretty decent spot here against Memphis, who can't really defend at all. So He's the most expensive point guard on the slate at 8.6. I believe he's paid off that price tag the last 2 games. He's been playing pretty well besides that blowout in the Knicks game where he only played like 24 minutes, but his minutes have been there, so I don't mind him. Malik Monk has been playing quite a bit. His usage is 32% and 33% the last 2 games. This game gets kind of out of hand or something goes on where they decide to play him a little bit more, I could see him paying off that 4.3K price tag. He is taking a lot of shots. He's just not really hitting them right now. And if he has a game where he happens to hit his shots, he could pay off value pretty easily there. Dylan Brooks is another guy I could see myself playing. I know I just said I wasn't going to play Memphis, but he's about the only guy that I would consider playing. His minutes are pretty much consistent. He's sitting around 30 minutes plus. So I don't mind him at 4.8. His price has dropped a little bit. He's been taking shots, upper teens, just hasn't been hitting them as well. So it's one of those things. If you get him on a day where he's hitting his shot, he could pay off that price tag pretty easily. And now that with the news that Gasol is going to be out and Dwight just got suspended, I have a lot of interest in JaMychal Green tomorrow at 6.5. If he gets the minutes, I think he can smash in this spot. He's going to be the only guy down low who's actually pretty talented, and I could see him producing pretty well. I think he has like 50-point upside, 49 recently, so I could see him putting up a 50 with no one really to compete down low for rebounds and stuff. So I like him, and then the obvious one is Hernan Gomez there at 4K since Dwight's suspended. I'm not going to toy with Deontay Davis, kind of like you said. He's kind of like a wild card. I mean, you could play him and he could get a 9, or like today where he puts up whatever he put up today. So I'm with you on that. For me, it'll be JaMychal Green, Dylan Brooks, Malik Monk, and Kemba are probably going to be the guys I'm most interested, followed with Hernan Gomez.
Yeah, a lot of value in this game. All the bigs, pretty much. I'm looking at it from a DraftKings. I know both of you guys play FanDuel, but on DraftKings, all these guys are in play. Hernan Gomez, if Zeller is out, if Zeller gets ruled in, I still like Hernan Gomez, but he may not get as much of a run. They seem to be a little hesitant, but he's got to get some run, even if Zeller plays. Because even if Zeller plays, he's been out for so long. How long are they going to play the guy? You know, throw him out to 30 minutes? I don't think so. Yeah. So. Frank Kaminsky's probably one of the more secure guys. He's 4-1 on DraftKings, so they didn't raise his price. Definitely like that. He seems a little more secure, as in we know this is a guy that Kaminsky's a guy they will play 35 minutes if they had to. So
where do you think they'll start?
That's my boy.
Who do you think they start at center? If Zeller's there, they'll start Zeller. If not, they may start Kaminsky. Only because Gasol's out. If Gasol was in, I don't know what they would do because I don't know if Frank's quick.
Yeah, I think in this game, Kaminsky could easily start at the 5.
It's possible.
They could do it. Yeah,
but we should have that news. This is the first game of the slate, so we should have that news. Either way, there's just a ton of value everywhere here, and it's all from the bigs. BK, you made a great point, man. I didn't like what I saw today with Memphis. Like, it seems like okay, fine, we're just gonna play everybody, and we're not gonna play anybody, a full amount of minutes. That's tricky because at this point in the NBA season, where so many teams are playing for nothing, that's really what it comes down to. Is you have to nail the minutes. You have to pretty much figure out the minutes and guess them right. If you can guess them right in combination with projections, you will win all the money. You might project, okay, so Schroeder's been playing 29 minutes every day, and then all of a sudden Schroeder plays 36 minutes, and what happens? So it's like, these are just things that you can't really account for. There's no explanation. A team doesn't try hard today, but tomorrow they try. You don't know why. It's just that's part of the variance at this point in the season. But one thing for sure is we can get value here, especially on DraftKings. You can look at Deontay Davis, Hernan Gomez, all these guys way more comfortably because you're not sacrificing your only center position like you are on FanDuel. You can actually move these guys at power forward, playing utility, so definitely even easier to go there. Cam, great point on Dylan Brooks. He seems to be playing 30 minutes pretty consistently, and more importantly, he's taking double-digit shot attempts. So I do like what I see there. Let's move it over to the next game. We got Philadelphia at Orlando. Total is 213. I feel like Orlando hasn't played in a while. Orlando is 7-point home underdogs. I don't know. I just feel like I haven't seen their names in a while. But Philly's on the back end of a back-to-back.
They played like 2 days ago, but FanDuel and DraftKings took them off the slate, so we kind of missed that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Great point, BK. That's why. Total is 213. Orlando 7-point home underdogs. BK, my man. What do you think?
All right, so starting at the point guard position, DJ Augustine, FanDuel 5,500. Obviously, that's in play for a guy who's going to play 25 to 30 minutes. I'd rather go with Shelvin Mack. To me, this is like a misprice on FanDuel. The last 3 games, 28 FanDuel points, 30 FanDuel points, and 20 FanDuel points. All right around 25 minutes, and he's only 3,900 on FanDuel, so that's kind of a mistake. That's something he should definitely be like 4,500 for what he's been doing. So I could definitely overexpose right there. I might have several lineups with him. I know you were gonna laugh. I knew that was coming. Probably the second time I've done that.
Overexpose himself.
I didn't say myself this time because I knew that was coming. So I said overexposed, and I stopped myself. But I knew that was coming.
You knew it.
But anyway,
you knew
it. So yeah, 3,900 for Shelvin Mack, a guy who's going to play 25 minutes. That's just way too cheap. So I'll definitely have some lineups with him. TJ McConnell, yeah, he hasn't been great. But point guards against Orlando has always been a thing. He's going to play 15 and 20 minutes. I can go there. Maybe he'll get extra minutes because it's a back-to-back. So I could definitely go there. Shooting guard position, but Marco Bellinelli has been pretty good like the last 2 games. Usually when a shooter gets hot, it's probably when you want to jump on. The last 2 games, 20 FanDuel points and 25. He always plays right around 25 to 30 minutes. So the minutes are always there, and he's pretty close to min price against a bad defensive team. So I definitely like Marco Bellinelli. It's a way to differentiate your lineup in a 6-game slate. So you could definitely go there. At small forward, Simmons is a game-time decision. He is doubtful, so likely out. So that means Mario Hezonja will probably start at small forward. I'm not really sure what they're going to do at shooting guard, whether that would be a follow or something like that. But Robert Covington against Orlando, 6K. Don't really love the price too much. Definitely in play. Like I said, Hezonja, 4,500. He'll likely start, in my opinion. So I could go there. Let's see. At power forward, anything here? Aaron Gordon, he came back last game. Wasn't a great game for the price. But after, a couple days, this could be a game where he could have a better game. The usage is definitely going to be there, especially with Simmons out. So I could definitely go there. Simmons is a little bit too expensive, and Dario Saric is cheap, but he has just not been doing that great, especially with Ghostface Illy in the mix. Ilyasova, 3,800 though. I guess you can go there. He should be able to get you 6-7x at this price. I mean, he's damn near almost been priced, so that's definitely in play. And at center, Joel Embiid on the back-to-back. He hasn't been that bad on the back-to-back, but the price went up. He's 11K now, so you kind of want almost 60, or you want 60. Orlando has been bad against centers, so I could see myself going there, but that's just a really, really high price to pay for him. So, and then Vucevic, 8,800. That's still kind of pricey. He could have a good game here, but I don't love the price at all. So that's really it. Probably more of the point guards for me in this game.
All right, Cam, how do you see it?
Yeah, so I agree with you on Shelvin Mack. That was something that kind of popped out at me as well. 3.9. He's been getting minutes, I think, on a slate, and at this time of the year in the NBA, I like him quite a bit at 3.9. I think it's a mispricing. TJ McConnell, I'm with you on that too. He's just going to be a guy that I'm going to have like a sprinkle of exposure to when I'm playing on a slate that he's playing on, because we've seen it time and time out. Like, he can go for 30 just randomly. If he goes for 30, 35 on a slate like these where the slate's just all over the place because you don't know who's playing, whatever. If he goes for 35, 10x at that price, you're going to set yourself up pretty well for success there and should be able to finish up there at the top of tournaments. So I'll have some exposure to him just because of his potential ceiling. But overall, like, the matchup's not good. for Orlando. DVP wise, it gets a little bit of a boost just because I think Philly can turn the ball over a little bit, but I don't like a whole lot from this game. I think Ben Simmons is all right, but I would only play him on DraftKings. On FanDuel, he's 10-4. I think on DraftKings, he's 9-1, so I like him a lot better there. I'd get my exposure to him over on DraftKings. There's not a whole lot for Orlando that I'm liking besides Shelvin Mack. I think you could maybe take a chance with Aaron Gordon at 7-5. I could see him paying off that price tag just because Orlando's going to have to score and rebound the ball somehow. So I could see him doing that for them. I don't love it, but it's just something where in this game, you're kind of looking for plays out of it. He's one of the guys on Orlando that stands out to me. And Embiid on a back-to-back is fine, but the price tag at $11K is just something that I'm not going to be able to do. They're going into the playoffs. He's probably capped at like 30 minutes. It's a really good matchup, but now at $11K, he has to get even more than he's been scoring. So I'll just pass on him there and save the salary and go down somewhere else at center. That's about it. This isn't a game that I really like too much. There's a couple later on that we'll get to that I like a lot better.
Yeah. It's one of those games I think that you can. You made a good call with what's his name, Shelvin Mack to back up. He's playing mid-20s, upper 20s on FanDuel.
He's got to be popular.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a phenomenal price on FanDuel. He's 4-2 on DraftKings, still a good price, but on FanDuel for him to be that low is something's up with that. I will say that if you take a look at the matchup, as long as Ben Simmons is in the game, and like I can understand why his price is, I've been playing really well first of all, but he should just completely smash these guys. Like he's just so much bigger than both of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So he should just feast on them. I agree with what you said, Cam. Like it's a little steep of a price on a FanDuel, but on DraftKings a little bit more affordable. It's still expensive for him, but it's just tough. Like I think if you take Ben Simmons, you're gonna have to bring it back with somebody, Aaron Gordon or something, because you're hoping this game stays close long enough for him to pay off that price. Because if he was in the 8s, then maybe he goes for 50 and you're okay with that. But now that he's in the 9s and 10s, you're looking for a lot more. So I'm all for Simmons, but I would probably figure out a way to bring it back with at least some of these guys. I think Azonia is interesting. He's 4-7 on DraftKings. It's not great. But when he has been playing lately, his usage has been decent. His shot's been terrible. So not a play I love, but a guy I can throw out there. But for the most part, I'm with you guys. There's not too much I love here. I think you can take a chance on a lot of these guys, but could be a game stack scenario. I could definitely see you want to take Ben Simmons, bring it back with Vooch and a couple of Orlando guys. Like this could be a decent little game stack. But there are 6 games, and there are a couple other games that we need to get to. But
there's one game. There's one game that everybody's gonna go to. But
yes. So
we'll get there.
Right. Exactly. But definitely a candidate. I think it's going to be, it's going to have ownership because it's one of the first games of the slate, but because there's other games like BK mentioned that we will get to, maybe the ownership's a little bit low as far as game stack. So let's move it over to Detroit and Houston. No spread here. I guess we're waiting on some news. I think Chris Paul's actually questionable. That might be some news we're waiting for. So we are waiting for a little bit of news here. But BK, tell me what you think, man. What's going on?
Yeah, so with this game, we need the news on Chris Paul before we make any. You can't make a lineup until you get that news. It's an 8 o'clock game, so hopefully we should get some news right around 6:30. But we got to get the news. If he's out, obviously that's going to make James Harden a must play. Even without it, I mean, you can still obviously play James Harden, but we got to wait on that news. Chris Paul plays. You can go there, 8,500. I think he'll be limited. This is probably going to be an easy game for Houston, so I probably won't go there. Ish Smith, he should play right around 30 minutes. He's 5,300 on FanDuel, so he's in play. Dwight Bikes is out of the rotation, so is Galloway because of Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson is back. He is min price on FanDuel. He was terrible. His last game was his first game back. He played 15 minutes. He put up 10 FanDuel points. He was just horrible. I was get off the court because I had Blake Griffin, and I did not want him to mess up my Blake Griffin lineups. So now that he's back, second game, I can see him getting 20 minutes maybe. So I probably would rather play him than Ish just because of the min price. But at that price on FanDuel, he's definitely in play. I don't know what he is on DraftKings. I would have to guess, he's more expensive because they're a little bit smarter, which will probably put him out of play over there. But on FanDuel, min price for a starting point guard is something that's definitely in play no matter the matchup. Shooting guard, like I said, James Harden, no matter what, definitely in play. I love him. He does everything. He's 11.8, which is a little bit expensive with Chris Paul, but I don't care. I mean, I'll take the 50 on a 6-game slate. It is what it is. He's a high floor, so I can go there. That's probably it for shooting guards. The other guys are a little bit too inconsistent for me. Small forward, Ariza is down to 4,800 on FanDuel. He plays 25 to 30 minutes. He usually gets right around 20 to 25 FanDuel points, so not a lot of upside, especially in a matchup like this. I rather play him in against teams like the Suns or Brooklyn, where you can get some steals and blocks. So, I mean, definitely in consideration. Stanley Johnson and Bullocks. I want the one that's going to get the James Harden defense, but we don't really know who that would be. My guess is Stanley Johnson. I don't see any reason why they should do a cross defensive match. He's cheaper, to differentiate my lineups. 4,500. If he's getting James Harden defense, I can go there. I think I can get you 6-7x at this price. That's it for this position. Power forward. Blake is 9,100. That kind of takes him out of play to me. He's going to get, Tucker defense, Baumute defense. So that's a pass for me. The rest of these guys are pretty much all punt plays, but they do have upside. Mamute, Tolliver, Eric Moreland, all some punt plays, but they do have some upside. Moreland is if the game, if Drummond doesn't get a lot of minutes and Detroit decides to go small, which Stan Van Gundy has done before, that he'd be in play. But that's probably a GPP flyer, not someone I would have in my lineups tomorrow probably. And then Drummond at 9,900. I got to look into the matchup to see how he's done here. Houston hasn't been playing as fast as you would expect, especially in the second half of games. So he could have a really good game if the pace continues that way. But 9,900 is a really expensive price tag. So I'd rather go probably with Capella, who's 7,400. He should play right around 30 minutes just to match up with Drummond, because if he's not on the floor, Drummond's going to get all the rebounds. So I could definitely go with Capella at a decent price at 7,400. And that's it for this game.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Patio Joe in the chat. Congrats, my man. He's in the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat. He's everywhere. He's everywhere we are. He's with the nation. Congrats, my man, on the Twins. He says to tell you, Cam, that Riley says Cam looks tired. What he says to tell you. So he wanted you to know that. Riley is, one of the Twins.
Not bad.
Obviously. So
yeah.
Cam, what's your take on the game, brother?
So I just said, God damn it. Whoops. Ish Smith, 5'3". He's fine. He's been paying off his price tag the last couple of games here, so I don't mind him. Like you said, Reggie Jackson is min price. He might get up to 18 minutes this game. You could take a shot on him if you really want to. Don't mind that. James Harden is probably my favorite play from this game for obvious reasons. I won't play Chris Paul at 8.5 if he does play. And if he's out, then that makes me like Harden even more. He's just been balling recently, so I don't see why he wouldn't get at least 60 or around there. I like Eric Gordon as well at 4.7. Makes a decent play there. And then the wings for Detroit, I agree with you. I'd rather take Stanley Johnson. He's more athletic, can kind of do a little more when he's on the court. So I like him a little bit better in this spot. Right now they have him projected for 28 minutes. So if he gets that, I think he can pay off that 4 or 5 price tag. For Houston though, I think I like Ariza a little bit, but like you were saying, I think I like Luke Mbamute a little bit here at 3.8. He's not afraid to be somewhat aggressive on the court, depending on how this game goes. If it's kind of like a blowout, they're playing meaningless minutes and stuff, I could see him getting a couple more shots. And I've been attacking Detroit with wings for the last couple weeks here now, so I don't mind that play as like a punt if you need to save salary, if you're trying to get in a couple more studs than that you want. Blake Griffin now, he's 9-1. It's a little too expensive for me here. I was playing him when he was like 8K, and he's been paying off value, but 9-1 makes it tough. It's okay, but I don't love it. Like you were saying, too, at center, it's interesting because Clint Capella's been playing like 25 to 30 minutes a game. And you made a really good point, because if he plays only 25 minutes in this matchup and Drummond they happen to play Drummond 35 minutes in this matchup, I could see Drummond just taking all the rebounds. So at 9-9, he's been playing really bad. He hasn't hit value really recently, but if we can put that behind us and kind of look at the matchup in itself, the salary's elevated, but Capella's not a guy who really gets over 30 minutes. So if Drummond can be on the court by himself with no one really to compete for rebounds out there, he can get putbacks. I could see him getting 60 in this matchup, so I don't mind him. I don't love it, but I think it makes it interesting if you kind of look at the Capella-Drummond dynamic of the game and how they would not be competing for rebounds if Capella's not on the court. So I think Drummond's a interesting GPP play because no one's going to really be on him because of his past play recently. So it's just something that's interesting, especially on this slate where it's kind of a weird slate and there's not a whole lot going on. So that's about it for me, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty simple. If Chris Paul's out, you definitely want some Gordon and you want some Harden, and you could play the role players if you want to do a game stack. But if not, you at least want yourself some Harden and some Gordon. On the Detroit side, they've done a pretty good job of keeping it between Blake and Drummond as the main two guys that are really doing their thing. You could take a chance on Reggie Bullock and those guys. There should be some extra opportunities for Detroit. They are going to be in a paced-up environment. So these guys are definitely in play. But I know Drummond's history against Detroit isn't all that great. But they haven't been playing Nene Hilaria. Well, he's obviously one of their guys that they've used defensively. That's why he's there, is for his defense. And last year, that was one of the reasons that centers didn't do what they're doing this year to Houston. They have a big problem against centers this year. It's a little bit different. We're seeing, like, look what Nurkic did against Capella just the other day in Portland. So they do have an issue here. Capella is not that big of a guy. He's a center. He's going to play center, but he's not that big of a dude. And if they're not willing to play Hilario or if they don't have anybody else defensively to put in there, then I do think Drummond could eat. Drummond is 8-7 on DraftKings, so I definitely am interested. And Blake, just the way he's playing, I don't say how you can't play Blake, but 8-6, 8-7 for those two guys on DraftKings, it's like I'm definitely gonna try to work them in. I think that at those prices they could do some cool things here. But definitely, I think it's simple on the Rockets side. If Chris Paul is out, we're playing us some Harden. We're playing us some Gordon. Probably he's got a hamstring injury. We could probably play those guys either way because he probably didn't even play full minutes anyway, even if he did play. Let's move it over to next game. Lakers at New Orleans. We don't have a total here because we're waiting on all the news from New Orleans. We don't know what they're going to do. It's not that anybody's hurt, obviously. It's just this is their third game in a row. So everybody's pretty sure they're going to rest somebody. Of course, I thought they would do that today, and I was dead-ass wrong. So I don't actually know. BK, what do you think here, man? You got to give us some, like, what-ifs, some if-thans. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Well, tomorrow, this is basically a one-game slate. This game will literally determine whether you win money or don't. You better have 4 or 5 guys from this game, and basically your night will depend on if you pick the right players from this game. I don't like that, the fact that this is a 6-game slate and it's only one game with like a total this high. I can assume this game is going to be far beyond all the other totals. So that kind of messes up the slate in my opinion. So I probably won't go too heavy on the slate. Probably have 1 or 2 lineups. But this is the game. So starting up top at point guard, Lonzo Ball, I love him. I will be on him. Definitely probably will be my main lineup. The problem with that is if Rondo sits, and that's a possibility here, they don't like playing Rondo on back-to-backs, and this is a back-to-back-to-back. So, in my opinion, he could sit here. It's either going to be him or Anthony Davis. I don't think they sit both. Holiday, we saw today, he did not look good. Probably still sick. They played him basically because they had to. So, this is an 8 o'clock game. I don't know how good they're going to be on news, but hopefully we get the news early so we can make decisions easier. But Rondo against the Lakers, if he's going to get his normal minutes, 6,300 on FanDuel and this kind of pace, because this is going to be a crazy high total game, you got to have some exposure. The problem is he's not that great on back-to-backs, and like I said, this is a back-to-back-to-back. So I just can't see him, if he's going to play 30 minutes, I just can't see him having that great of a game. But he could do it, you know. I mean, I understand some people aren't great on back-to-backs, but, you know, there's that time where that won't happen. And in a game like this, he could go off for 50 FanDuel points. So kind of tricky with that. Isaiah Thomas is as cheap as he's been probably since joining the Lakers. He's 5,600, and that's basically because he had 2 bad games. But I don't really care. This is like Isaiah Thomas at 5,600 is just way too cheap against this team. So I gotta have some exposure there. Gotta look into the matchups. Depends on who's starting. Like I said, if Rondo's out, maybe not so much because I really respect Jrue Holiday defense. But he could, you know, he's gonna play off the. He starts actually. So I don't know how much I like Isaiah Thomas even at this price if Rondo is out. Ian Clark is kind of priced out. That's really much it. That's it for point guard. As shooting guard, Jrue Holiday is too expensive. He's 9K. He did not do good today. I mean, he's sick. If he's, you know, if he gets better, you know, off of whatever he has, you know, 9K against the Lakers is expensive, but it's still the Lakers. It's still a fast-paced game, you know. That probably depends more on if AD is out. If AD is out, then I could probably play Jrue Holiday. Otherwise, if no one's out from this game, I will probably lean more on the Lakers than I will on the Pelicans. KCP, 5,500. He was doing really well before, like a week or so ago. The last week, he has not been doing that great, but the minutes are still there, and this is a really cheap price tag for him in a great matchup, great pace. So I'll have some exposure with him. Small forward, Etuan Moore is really cheap still, 4,500. He's putting in right around 20 to 30 FanDuel points, so that's like 6-7x. I can go there with Etuan Moore. At power forward, Kuzma is basically a small forward. He starts at small forward for the Lakers. He probably has the best matchup in this game, unless, you know, Ball gets Rondo. But Kuzma at 6,200, I could definitely go there against Etuan Moore defense. The minutes are definitely there. The price is decent. So I will definitely go there. Randall at 7,500. As long as he's under 8K on FanDuel, he's easy play. I see no reason why not. He's been very consistent. The minutes are there, and he's getting right around 35, 40 FanDuel points. So at this price, that's easy for cash game with some GPP upside. Anthony Davis, I faded him today. I'm sure a lot of people probably did. He actually did well today on the back-to-back. It was a good matchup against Indiana, and he put up 60. So this is a better matchup. So you would assume he'll be popular. We just don't know right now if they're going to sit him or not. My guess is, considering how good the Lakers have been, I think they'll play him. I think Rondo might sit. I think they'll play Anthony Davis. You know, they weren't giving him 40 minutes, but they're still giving him 30 to 35. And against the Lakers, I can still go there, and I think he'll be popular if we don't get news that he sits. Mirotic is okay at 5,500. He's not getting more than 30 minutes. But against this team, he could probably still hit cash value. And he could have some GPP upside, but I don't know how much I trust that. And then Check Diallo, 3,900. I did play him today. He did well. He's playing 20 minutes a game just because of how many minutes everyone else is playing. So against the Lakers, I like that. 3,900. I could definitely see 6x value there. And then at center, the only person I like here is Brook Lopez. He's a game time decision again, but he's probable. So that game time decision will probably take some people off of him, just like they did in the last game against Indiana when he was like 4 or 5% owned. He went off of 41, I think. Yeah, 41. So this is just as good a matchup. 6,800. That's another 7x I could see coming. So definitely like Brook Lopez, and he will probably be my main center in my main lineup. And that's it for this game.
Okay, Cam, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so I think like the biggest thing is just where New Orleans is at in the standings. So they're 42-30. They're in 5th in the West, but they're only 3 games out from not even making the playoffs. So they have to win these games. They play the Lakers tomorrow, and then on Saturday they play the Rockets. Next Tuesday they play Portland. Then next Friday they play Cleveland, and the next game they play OKC. So those 4 games are really tough. So I think that they're going to want to play everyone, and I think they're going to try and beat the Lakers, because my guess is they'll lose to Houston. I mean, Portland's going to be a tough game, and then you have to play Cleveland and OKC, which aren't going to be easy wins as well. So I think they're going to want to secure this win against the Lakers if I'm them. So I would assume I'm going to go with that they play everyone. What are they on, like a five games in 6 days or something crazy like that? But you kind of have to win. So I like Lonzo Ball here in like a super fast-paced game. I think both teams are paced up. The projected pace in this game is crazy. So I like the point guards, especially in pace-up games. So if Rondo plays, I'm going to have a lot of interest in him as well, especially on FanDuel, where fast-paced games, the ball's flying all over the place. You can just fall into a couple steals. So I like Lonzo and Rondo on FanDuel at 7-1 for Lonzo and 6-3 for Rondo. I don't really have too much interest in IT. He's kind of just a scoring-dependent guard. He doesn't really do anything else. I've watched games where he's gone off, and I'm like, dang, he must have like 45 fantasy points, and he has like 30. So his price tag has dropped, but he just doesn't have a whole lot of upside for me to take him, especially in this game where there's other options that I think have way more upside than him. KCP's okay. In a pace-up game, his price has dropped. I'm not going to take Drew Holiday tomorrow. I think he's way cheaper on DraftKings, but on FanDuel, he's $9K. I got like this alert that he was getting IVs at halftime or something, so he must have really been sick yesterday. I thought that they maybe have just like ruled him out for like an illness just to kind of get him like a day off in a game where they thought they could beat Dallas pretty easily. But so apparently he's pretty sick actually, so that's kind of concerning. I'm not going to want to play a 9K price tag for a guy who's battling an illness like that. So I won't go there. Like you said, Kuzma is pretty much playing small forward for them, so I like him a lot in this matchup. He's 6'2" on FanDuel, so he's probably one of my favorite plays from this game. You can go down to a guy like Chuck Diallo, too. He's 3'9". They just haven't raised their price. I think, like I said, they're on 5 games in 6 days. He's been getting 20 to 25 minutes the last 3 games, so I like him at that price tag. I think value in this slate's going to be kind of hard to find. So if you can find a guy who's been producing and been getting 20 to 25 minutes a game, I think he's going to be pretty popular tomorrow, but he's probably going to be someone you're going to want in your lineups. Mirotic is in play at 5'5". If he gets hot shooting, he could definitely pay off that price tag. And AD, that's the big question. Seems like he's just kind of superhuman. He's 12.5, but 5 to 6 days, you can fade him. It's AD. It's always fadeable, but he's had pretty good history against the Lakers, and he just does it all: blocks, steals, rebounds, points. So he's going to be tough to get away from, even with the circumstances. But like I said, I mean, New Orleans is going to need this game. They have a tough schedule coming up, and they're like 3 games from missing the playoffs, so they're going to really want to win. I think they play everyone. This game's going to be competitive, super fast-paced. I think you're going to want a lot of guys in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Should be a very fast-paced game. Should be a very high total. And I'm with you guys. Under normal circumstances, New Orleans would probably love to be able to rest some of their guys, but they may not be able to. They need these games. They really can't afford to lose. And the Lakers have been playing pretty well right now. So definitely a great game to target. On the Lakers side, I think Kyle Kuzma's in a phenomenal spot. I think, we've seen him in 30 minutes go. He went for 30 twice against them, I think. Let me see exactly when it was. Yeah, so on the 22nd of October and the 14th of February, and he played 26 and 30 minutes. He's now playing around like 33 to 36 minutes, sometimes even 37, 38 minutes. So just imagine what he could do now. Julius Randle, all the Lakers, man. Lonzo Ball, like this is the game stack city right here, right? Like you play all the Lakers. Julius Randle, Brolo's in a phenomenal spot. Brolo actually does have decent history. If you look at his history when he was on Brooklyn, a different circumstance, of course. When he was on Brooklyn last year, Brooklyn just completely destroyed them in a game, like 140 to 115, and Brolo had like over 40 DraftKings points in 24 minutes. So I don't think the matchup is really an issue. On the New Orleans side, it's tough for me to say. These guys are exhausted. I don't know if I want to pay the price for AD. I know it's a pace-up spot. Love the matchup, but I'm just worried about the price. Rondo I could go for. I got to check how many minutes he played today. I didn't really see. I was off him today, so I didn't really get a chance to see how many minutes he played. But
he dudded today.
Did he? Okay, good.
Yeah, then, I didn't play him today.
And then
28 minutes.
He did play 28 minutes. Wow, that's a little concerning. Okay, so
28. Yeah, but he did nothing though. So
yeah.
What was the NBA thinking when they made back-to-back? This is probably the only team that's done this. I don't remember this happening at any point.
It's because of a makeup game from that roof league.
Okay.
I think this was the game today, the Pacers game or something. I don't know for sure. I could be wrong. Or maybe it was the Sixers. I don't know.
Was it Memphis? Was it in Memphis? I think, right?
I don't remember.
No, I think this is the Pacers game. This is the makeup game, I think.
I just remember the roof leak. And
wow.
So that's why they had to do this. And but yeah, love pretty much all the Lakers. I bet you
AD definitely regrets what he did that day, huh? He definitely regrets that now.
Yeah, that's not gonna be good. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird circumstance, man. But you're just gonna have to figure out what you're gonna want to do with it tomorrow. Hopefully, news comes out and go from there.
I am definitely digging my boy. As Johnny the Greek calls him, Check Diablo. Check Diablo.
Yeah, he's still cheap too. Still cheap.
I about died today on the Y stream when he was like, "Yeah, I really like Phillip Rivers today." I was like, I almost like spit out my. I like looked up and was like, what? Yeah, Check Diablo, man.
I'll find myself. And like, listen, Johnny's great. He's obviously a very good player. But he can't say names for shit. Like, there'll be time we'll be at a show, and I'm like, I'm hurting for a name. I'm like, oh, what's the guy's name? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm doing the show with Johnny. I'm like, never mind. I'm just saying, I forget. But shout out to Johnny the Greek, a.k.a. Johnny the Freak, across the Wise Take Nation. He's better known as Wise Take Nation. Let's move on to this next game, though. Utah and Dallas. Total is 198.5. Dallas 8-point home underdogs. Not exactly one of the more attractive games on the slate. Utah just got upset at home by Atlanta. They got schroedered. How about that? BK, what you think here, man?
Yeah, so not a lot in this game. This game's kind of tricky. Rubio, of course, 7,400 on FanDuel. Probably safe enough for cash against a team that's tanking, but still a decent price. Barea, he's going to play right around 28, close to 30 minutes. He won't get to 30, but he's 5,600 now. His price dropped a little bit. And like you said, Schroeder went off against his team. Could he do it now against Utah? No, that begs to be the question. But 5,600 is a decent price for him. Probably won't play anyone else here at the point guard position. Shooting guard, Mitchell's price on FanDuel is just way too high, man. It gotta be. He's not putting up 48 FanDuel points, so why is he 8K? Why is he 8-1? But he's probably safe enough for cash because he's putting up 35 to 40. But he's just not putting up GPP upside. It's just way too expensive. But, he's in play because you never know what he could do on a 6-game slate. He could put up 50 or 60. You never know. It could happen. But I probably won't go there unless it's probably a cash lineup or something like that if I can afford to pay up there. A small forward, Joe Ingles is definitely a cash game play. If you look at his game logs, it's literally 30s and 35s in like the last 10, 15 games. Like he's super consistent. You probably won't be disappointed with what he puts up tomorrow. So definitely a safe play, just not a lot of upside. Harrison Barnes price will probably have you drooling. 5,700 on FanDuel is one of the cheapest prices you'll get him at. He basically just had one bad game his last time out. Of course, I rostered him there, and he put up 22 against New Orleans. Thank you very much. But 5,700 on FanDuel, you're only looking for 25 to 30, and he's the kind of guy who will put up 30 to 35 just about every other night, unless I roster him, where he'll put up 22. The matchup isn't great against likely Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles is a pretty good defender. DVP-wise, I think they're like second best in the entire league in the last 10 games against that position, so the matchup is not great. Right now, they're actually the best in the last 10 games. So the matchup isn't great, but the price, 5,700, is really hard to pass up for Harrison Barnes. That's probably it for small forward, just because there's no one. If some guys are ruled out, then obviously you can go to Doug McDermott. Jalen Jones had a really great game, but that was a game that Harrison Barnes was out. And I think
DFS was out as well.
Yeah. So they had three guys out. He really went off. But that's probably not going to happen tomorrow because Harrison Barnes will likely play. So I wouldn't go there. At power forward, Derek Favors is probably a safe cash game play. He's 5,600 on FanDuel, so you want right around 25 to 30. 25 minutes against Dallas. I see no reason why he doesn't get you cash game value. I just don't see a lot of upside, but it is a great matchup. And he will be probably low owned, so I mean it could be a difference maker. Nowitzki against the Jazz. Recently, I think a month ago, he had a game against them. He put up 35 FanDuel points, which is the most he's put up in like the last 2 months. So you could go there. The problem is that game he played 31 minutes, and he plays normally right around 25 to 30 minutes. So if you take away a couple minutes, he'll put up right around 30 FanDuel points at best, which, sure, that's nice 6x, but you're taking a chance there because he normally gets you somewhere in the 20s. So I don't see a lot of upside there. That's probably it for power forward. At center, I'd love to play Rudy Gobert. I would love to, but on FanDuel, he's 9,500. It's a great matchup against a team that can't rebound. I could definitely see him going for 45 to 50 FanDuel points, but I mean, a 9,500, that's not getting you much. So I probably won't go, but definitely have some GPP upside. And then Nerlens Noel on FanDuel is probably too expensive. I don't know what he is in DraftKings, but
4-1.
The price was pretty. 4-1?
4-1.
4-1? What are they doing over there?
Well, what is
I don't understand why.
What is he on?
Well, he's 51 on FanDuel, but
damn.
the last game he was like 49, and DraftKings had him at 38.
Yeah.
Like really, really, really different there.
Yeah.
So I could definitely play him on DraftKings. I don't see him getting a lot of minutes here because this isn't the kind of matchup for him against Gobert. But I mean, he is that type of center where he could get 20, 25 minutes, but it's a bad matchup because Jazz are actually one of the best teams against centers. So some people might go there because of the price, save some money, but I think he won't have a upside type of game. So I probably won't go with Noel. And that's it for this game.
All right. Cam, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, it's super slow-paced game. Both teams are paced down. It's not going to be one that I think you should target a lot of guys from. I'm not going to be playing many either. I think the main target here should be some of these Utah guys. Ricky Rubio at 7'4" is fine, but there's other point guard options on the slate that are in faster-paced spots, so they have to be less efficient to score and do things to hit value. I think at 7'4", Rubio has to be pretty efficient in a pace down game to hit salary, but he is in a good spot, so I don't mind him there. Joe Ingles, like you were saying, he's been super consistent. Don't see much upside at 6'6" on FanDuel, but at the same time in kind of like a weird 6-game slate where I don't know if it'll be high scoring. I could see where his raw points at the small forward position might matter. So if you just want to plug him in at 6'6" and get a 30, that's definitely an option. Harrison Barnes at 5'7" is also a pretty good play because, like you said, his price has dropped. He's in a fine spot. DVP-wise isn't great, but efficiency numbers and everything grade out pretty decent for him, so I don't mind him there. Derek Favors is coming back from a knee injury. I'm not sure. We'll have to see the news tomorrow, how he's doing, if there will be minute restriction or anything like that. If not, I like him, especially at 5'6" there. He's in a pretty decent spot. I don't think Favors being there affects Crowder all too much either. He's been getting like 30 minutes a game, so maybe you can bump him down slightly. At 5'1", I don't know if Crowder's someone I have to target, though. I think one of the main guys that is interesting from this game is going to be Gobert at 9.5 on FanDuel. He's really expensive, but he's also in a spot that I really want to target him in. He's been pretty consistent. Not sure what happened in that Atlanta game, but before that, he's been consistently getting around 50. Yeah, right, exactly. Made every shot, so there goes the rebound attempts. But in an ugly kind of game, I could see Gobert kind of taking control, getting blocks, rebounds from Dallas if they're missing a bunch of shots. So I like him here. I think the two main targets from this game, though, would be Rubio, Gobert, and then you could take shots elsewhere, but not one that I think you should have super high on your radar. For Dallas, I don't really have many plays here. Utah is really good defensively. They're all kind of priced up to where they should be, so I'm going to stay away from them.
Yeah, there's a couple. This ugly game overall. Definitely not a game I want to game stack by any means. But I think there's some. I think there's something to the guards here. Like Rubio and Donovan Mitchell from Utah. Like there's literally nobody to stop them. Especially with DSJ. Not that DSJ was a great defender, but at least he's young and aggressive and athletic. You're about to see Barea and Yogi Ferrell, man. That's what they got. Barea and Yogi Ferrell. So I think Rubio and Mitchell in a really good spot, and it's the same thing on the other side. We saw what Mr. Schroeder did to this Utah team, the supposed good defense. Rubio is not a good defender, we know that, and Schroeder just did him dirty. So at the same time, Barea played 28 minutes. Barea was a big dud against New Orleans. He was chalk, didn't come through. He sucked. I mean, he did okay, but he didn't kill you, but he didn't do great. So his price is up on DraftKings. I can see people kind of going away from that. But I was impressed at the fact that he got 28 minutes. Because you give me Barea against Rubio, 28 minutes. That's interesting. So I got some interest in the guards here, I think. I think this guard situation is somewhat appealing. Let's move on to this last game. Speaking of Schroeder. Paulie D.
Did you see that?
Paulie D. Yes, I did almost. I almost Schroed. Yes, I almost did it. What'd you say, Cam?
Did you see that comment? Cash and DFS
shaved his head. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, Paulie's one shot went off the rails. Atlanta at Sacramento. Total is 212.5. Sacramento 2.5-point home favorites. I can't believe Sacramento is favored over anybody. BK, talk to us, man.
All right, well, so this is probably the tricky game of the slate. Dennis Schroeder is $7,300 on FanDuel. That is just really expensive. Probably would be game stack only for me. That is just, I don't know. I mean, this is a team that's tanking. This is two teams that's tanking. So I'm not really sure what's going to go on there. The price is just kind of crazy. I don't see many people going there. De'Aaron Fox has like no upside. Like he's just not gonna kill. He could kill you if you do play. He could still kill you. So I can't see myself going to De'Aaron Fox. Not much else at point guard. A shooting. Buddy Hield. Ready for this, guys? Buddy. The 7K on FanDuel. I never thought I would say those words. He has been good, yes, but that's the last 4 games. So. Small sample size. He seems, everything seems to be clicking. Seems to be doing pretty well. The minutes are there, right around 30 minutes. So that's just crazy. I can't pay $7K for Buddy Hield unless it's, like I said, unless it's a game stack. Have a couple guys from this game. That's just way too expensive. I'd rather go to Bogdan Bogdanovic, he was out the last game. I think he'll be back for this game. I think he's probable. Yeah, he's probable. So he'll be back for this game against a weak Atlanta team. So I'd rather go there at 4,800, where he'll play right around 25 to 30 minutes. And he should be able to get you 6-7x. I'd definitely rather play him. Damian Lee, he started the last game for Atlanta. He played 31 minutes, but he was just complete trash. So I don't know if they're going to want to. So maybe they do. Maybe they want to do that for the rest of the season to see what they have in him. Actually, I think his 10-day contract might be up. So I think that's why he started. So we'll probably get more news on that tomorrow on whether they renew the contract or not. But he's a min-price guy playing 30 minutes against the Sacramento team. You got to look into it. See how that can go. That's it for shooting guards here. At small forward, Taurean Prince is still just way too expensive, 7,500. But I could still see myself going there. He had a really bad game the last time out, so my guess is that he probably didn't shoot well. Schroeder went off when he had a bad game, so I probably would not play Schroeder and Taurean Prince in the same lineup. So if you don't play Schroeder, I could see myself having a Taurean Prince lineup. If I play Schroeder, I won't have Taurean Prince in it. Justin Jackson, probably a GPP flyer. He's 3,800, so near min price. He's going to play right around 25 to 30 minutes. And the last game, he put up 24 against Detroit. This is the worst team in Atlanta, so he could probably definitely pay this off, and he'll be pretty much unowned on this 6-game slate. So I could go there in like a GPP flyer. At power forward, not much there. Collins might be out, which would probably give a uptick to Dedmond. And Randolph he got the poops. So we don't know if he's going to play tomorrow or not.
He got the poops.
So he got the poops. So we got to wait tomorrow to see if he plays. If he's out, obviously I'll probably have some Cauley-Stein in my lineups, because Cauley-Stein, without Randolph, he goes off. With Randolph, he does not. So obviously that brings me to center. Like I said, Cauley-Stein. If Randolph's out, I'll likely have some Cauley-Stein in my lineup. Otherwise, I will not. With both of them two in the same lineup, he just does not play well. Dedmon went off the last game. He put up like 46 FanDuel points the last game. He's playing 29, 30 minutes last couple of games. So with Collins likely out, I'm not sure if he's doubtful or not, I think. But if Collins is out again, then Dedmon at 5,800 against Sacramento is something I definitely will likely have in my lineup.
I believe he is out.
And then he's out, right?
Yes.
So Dedmon is probably gonna be chalky. He's just still a little bit too cheap for a guy who's gonna play likely 30 minutes. And lastly, Costa Kufos as a flyer. If Randolph is out, that means Costa Kufos should get 20 to 25 minutes, and he's basically min price against Atlanta. So you could definitely go there. GPPs. Yep. And that's it for this game.
See him. KamG333. What you got, man?
Yeah, dude, I kind of like this game. Dennis Schroeder at 7-3. He just killed it last game, but the thing I like about this game is that Atlanta's kind of tightened up their rotations for their starters. So if you look at it, Schroeder's been playing like 30-plus minutes a game. Taurean Smith's been playing 30-plus minutes a game, like high 30 minutes a game. Dedmon's been getting 30 minutes a game. So I think those three are pretty safe. And you can play those three in like a matchup against Sacramento that I'm not scared to go against at all. I think it's a pretty good matchup. So if you're getting 30 to 35 minutes for three guys against Sacramento, kind of on this like weird slate, I think that's definitely a pretty good place to go. So I have interest in Schroeder at 7-3. I think he can get around 35 in this matchup. Going down, Frank Mason at 3-9. Point guards against Atlanta has been pretty profitable this year. getting about 20 minutes a game. I could see him being somewhat of a cheap play. If I had to pick between the two, though, going Shelvin Mack versus him, I think I would go Shelvin Mack 9 times out of 10 there. I like Buddy Hield in this game as well. Like you were talking about, he's just been playing really well. His salary's gone up, but that kind of goes with how he's been performing. He's gone 5x on this price tag, 4 out of 4 of the last 4 games. So I like him in this spot, especially on this slate where you're going to probably have some money to spend and play around with, because a lot of the expensive options just aren't in really good spots here. So I like Buddy Hield here in kind of like a game stack, I think, for Atlanta. Taurean Prince, he was balling out as well. Had a tough matchup against Utah where I think we could kind of predict that he was going to struggle there. But before that, 51, 40, 46, 56. Usage has been in the 30s, 25, 30%. So I like him there. Justin Jackson at 3.8 probably gets one of the best matchups, wing against Atlanta in the NBA. So he is kind of a wild card. I like consistency in minutes. I kind of just talking about how Memphis is a wild card. He's been getting like 20 to 25 minutes a game. And it just kind of comes down to how aggressive he's going to be. So he's okay, kind of like a punt play. Nothing that I love, but something worth mentioning just because I think he's in a really good spot. And then Dwayne Dedmon, he's probably going to play 30 minutes against Sacramento. Centers have just been killing Sacramento. Someone in the chat just said that he put up like 55, 56 the last time he played Sacramento. So I just saw that as well. Just looked it up. I think that was this year on November 15th. He put up 56. FanDuel points, 20 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 14 rebounds. So I like him if we can project him for around 30 minutes. I like all those Atlanta starters who are going to get 30 minutes. If Bazemore is going to be out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, so out,
of the year, I think.
Yeah, and then I don't mind the Bogdan call. His price it's just like a price play. He's 4.8. Maybe he won't come back with the minutes restriction. I think it was a hamstring or something, but yeah, I don't mind that as well either.
Yeah, Cam, you are a master debater. You know that? You're a master debater. Damian Lee's a value play that I could go to. He's 3-2 on DraftKings. He did the dirty to me last time, but I'll go back. Willie Cauley-Stein in a great spot, especially if Zebo's out. Great point, BK, loving it. Mike Muscala, we can go there. I think I'm off the Schroed, man. Taurean Prince, yes, give me some Taurean Prince. It's a much better matchup than Utah, so I'll load up on some Taurean Prince. That you want to know what? He had a bad game, that's fine. I'll play him just because of the fact that he's playing crazy-ass minutes. 36, 39, 37. I'm down. I'm down with
shots,
those minutes. Yeah. Yes, shot attempts are there. He's involved. The usage is there. They're giving this guy a real chance. He had a tough matchup at Utah. He's the one that had a real tough matchup. He had Jingle Bells and he got good defenders in Utah. Just not a point guard. But yeah, a lot of places we can go. That's gonna do it for the Wise Take NBA DFS podcast. Actually, we gotta do some top threes. So you know what we'll do before we do some top threes. Remind everybody, baseball is coming. So get this. The last NBA podcast is going to be Tuesday night for Wednesday's slate, because Wednesday night of next week will officially be the first MLB DFS podcast. But we will be providing some YouTube videos for NBA, just like some quick top threes, something like that, for the nation, because we do appreciate you. And of course, at WiseTake.com for premium members, we will still be bringing the premium NBA content. So we'll still be doing an NBA thing, but we're going to take the YouTube, the podcast, and we're going to cater over to MLB. It's time to get in that mode. I know everybody's excited. I know BK's excited about it. I know Cam's excited about it. I'm excited about it. Paulie, Joe, everybody's excited about it. So we'll do what we do. So head over to WiseTake.com. Come rock with us. Check us out. MLB season passes are still up. Still up. Go get them. Discount. Last chance MLB. Save yourself $25. Last chance. MLB. No spaces. And it's your last chance to get that deal because the price is going up. Deal's gone once baseball starts. So the monthlies are coming out soon. Keep posted. In the meantime, let's do some top threes. BK, you first, man. Point guards. Who you got?
All right, at point guard, I'll go with Lonzo Ball, Isaiah Thomas, and Shelvin Mack.
All Cam?
I like Schroeder in that Atlanta-Sacramento game stack. I like Lonzo Ball, and then I like Shelvin Mack.
I will go with excuse me. I'll go with Rubio. I'll go with Lonzo Ball, and I'll go with Shelvin Mack as well. Move it over to shooting guards, BK.
Shooting guard, James Harden, of course, at the top. KCP and Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Damn. Cam.
Yeah, I'll take some Harden up there at the top. I like Hield in that Atlanta-Sacramento game stack, and then I'll take a flyer on Monk. Hopefully he gets hot at 4-3 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'll go with James Harden as well. I'll go with Eric Gordon if Chris Paul is out. And I guess I'll go with my boy Damian Lee against Sacramento. He's playing the minutes. Why not? Small forwards, BK.
Small forward, I'll go with Taurean Prince.
Yes.
Harrison Barnes. And Etuan Moore.
Cam.
Yeah, I like Taurean Prince as well. I'm just going to stack that game tomorrow. I like everything about it. Then, I don't know, it kind of gets interesting here. I don't know, man. Maybe I like Jingles just for the consistency, and then maybe like Dylan Brooks or Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, small forward's ugly. Small forward's very ugly. Taurean Prince for sure. I'll throw in your boy Dylan Brooks as well. And on DraftKings, I'm going to cop out, and I'm going to say Kyle Kuzma because he's small forward eligible. Up in this, bitch. Power forwards, BK.
Power forwards. If Anthony Davis plays, that's hard to pass up. I think he put up didn't he put up 90 against his team the last time he played him? So that's kind of hard to pass up if he plays. So I'll have to say him. Julius Randle and Kyle Kuzma.
Yes. Cam.
Yeah, dude, power forward stacked. I like Kuzma at 6'2", probably point per dollar. AD's tough to pass on as well. And I'll go Randall.
Yeah, I'm going to go Randall. Give me some Kaminsky. I like a lot of these value guys on DraftKings. Skylar Davis, all these guys. I'll leave it at that. Stuck in a couple of extra. Centers, BK.
Centers. Let's go with Drummond. Hopefully he gets the minutes.
Drum dog.
Then I'll go Clint Capella. You know what? Scratch that. Drummond, Brook Lopez, and Dwayne Dedmon.
Dwayne Dedmon. Cam.
Just play whatever center Cash has as his cover boy tomorrow, because he's been killing it with that.
Yeah.
That's just what I've been doing. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
But I like Dedmon. I like Rudy Gobert tomorrow, and I think as of now I feel comfortable taking a shot on Drummond.
Yep. I like Drummond. I like Cauley Stein. I like Brolo, but I'll also throw out GHG just in case he starts some shit. Can't forget about the man. Billy Hurden. Gomez. Billy Mo. Billy. That's what they call him over here. Billy. In New York. He was the Knicks. You know what I'm talking about, BK. Billy.
Yeah.
You know. So, anyway, guys, appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight, rocking with the nation, as always. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that thumbs up. That like button means a lot to us. Subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on Podbean, give us a follow. If you're listening on iTunes, give us some 5-star reviews. Really helps us out. And, of course, if you're watching on Facebook, please like and share to support the Wise Take Nation. Closing thoughts. BK, you first. What you got, man?
That Lakers game, New Orleans and the Lakers, that's the slate right there. So pick the right players from that game and you win all the money.
All right. Slate breaker. Oh, Cam. Slate breaker. Did you hear it? Did you hear it, Cam? Cam is the best to sweat games with. He is the best to sweat somebody with. We're going to make a show eventually called just a show about sweating after lock. And Cam's going to be the guy. It's just going to be him rooting for his guys. And I'm telling you, we'll have to. He's got a filthy mouth, so we're going to have to put that on the premium side only. But it's going to be a thing.
I'm like the worst person ever, because if I pick a dude and like some other guy that I was debating between him and the other guy. If that other guy gets like 1 rebound in the first quarter, I'll be pissed. I'll be like, wow, I should have played that other guy. Like it's the worst. But
pissed is an
yeah,
understatement. Pissed is an understatement.
We have some fun in the chat, sweating some stuff out. So.
In the chat, bro.
we should do that.
Oh yeah,
we'll make it a baseball edition.
Oh yeah, I'm a streamer.
Dude, when a guy hits a home run, I go wild. So.
Oh yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah, we will. Any closing thoughts, or is that it? Is that your closing thoughts?
No, I think tomorrow is I'm with BK. It's a 2-game slate for me. I'm gonna be getting guys in from the Lakers game that I like, and then I also like that Atlanta Sacramento game a lot. It's got a close spread, relatively high scoring, so I like it.
All right, take biddies. So for BKBorn, for KamG333, and myself, the entire Wise Take Nation, as always, good luck.